Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Today we have a lot to do. We will be sowing lots of brassicas and leafy greens, many different varieties, and I will go through the varieties as we sow. I will be sowing in this 60 cell seed tray. It's quite a bit. Today is February 25th. And I am in zone 6A Illinois, and we are supposed to according to the Farmer's Almanac, it is good to start your brassicas the end of February or beginning of March. I feel like everybody started theirs already, but hey, this is my first time doing it indoors, and I'll tweak my times or days or periods or I'll tweak my sowing dates. That's the word. As we go along. All right, first the lettuce. First, we're gonna do lettuce, and the lettuces that I have chosen. I had 6 lettuce. I don't need 6, so these are the chosen ones, and it's gonna be the prize head lettuce. I'm pretty far back. The mesclun and some butter crunch. Now I've done the butter crunch, and it was pretty good. I think it was a thinner leaf lettuce. If I can get this open. But I did burger wraps, and yeah, I did many different things with that lettuce. And I actually like the taste of it. So I don't, I'm not sure how many of each I want to. So, but I'm not going to do that many. I have a leaf green stock, and I did it too. Yeah. Oh, I did it out of order. I had my labels in order. They kind of got out of order. But yeah, I have a leaf green stock, and that's where these lettuces are going to go. So I'll do my prize head here, and I think it's a 2 4 inch deep. If you're doing lettuce, how many varieties are you doing this year? So if you're doing lettuce, how many varieties are you doing? And how many varieties of many things is too much? I don't say many things, but what? Yeah, that's the question I want to know. How much? How many? How much is too much? That's the question. How much is too much? Because I almost think that 3 different varieties of lettuce may be too much. But I thought about maybe 8 seeds of those, and let's do the mesclun next. I think this is my 4th year gardening, and I think I'm at the point where I am confident in my growing, and now I have discovered that there are so many varieties of many different things, and now I'm like, oh, I want this color, these different colors to pop with this green stuff or to be in this area. But before, my first year, all I wanted was to grow something. I was happy to get something. And yeah, now I'm to the point where I want to branch out and find different things, and we'll try different things and varieties to kind of see what I want to keep in my collection. So I'm just now starting to like really get a collection. Those first couple years of growing, you kind of do the basic stuff. Well, for me, I can only speak for me. and then you're like, well, oh, okay, there's other varieties. Let me try those. I think that's cute. Or ooh, I like how they had that. Ooh, that's how I was last year. I did try. I did try a few varieties of different things, but I did not know that there were so many varieties of pretty much everything. So that was the mesclun lettuce. Now we're gonna do this butter crunch. I am also these seeds. Like some of these seeds are old. I got them from the thrift store and they expired December of 2024. And so I'm going to kind of sow quite a bit because I don't know what the germination rate is. So this will be the last bit of this butter crunch lettuce. So next year I'll have to get some more. If they don't germinate, I'm okay with that. So I think that the prize head and the butter crunch are the ones that were old, and the mesclun is the brand new one. I got it as a free seed pack from Botanical Interest. All right, that's pretty much done for. All right, now down to my Swiss chard. I'm going to be doing 3 different types of Swiss chard. Well, kind of, sort of. The Fort Hook Giant is just a green Swiss chard. Now, this Swiss chard I did grow last year, and it did fabulous, y'all. It did fabulous. It tolerated the cold. It tolerated the heat. Out of my cool crops, this was one of the crops that was still growing when the summer came. And again, I only have a few left of these, so I'll just be doing them all. 1/4 of an inch too. And you know, I did not. I don't think I ever had Swiss chard. I don't know. Maybe I have and didn't realize it. But um, it's really good, and I mixed it with my radish greens, and I mixed it with my regular greens, and it was really good. So this is my ruby red. Now, I want to say that I did grow this, and it didn't do well or something, or it kind of felt like plastic. The ruby red, they look a little. Let me see. Oh yeah, I can't. I'm gonna try to get up for y'all. Okay. If you can see, I'm still in my work clothes, y'all. It's late at night, but these look like they look fake. Like I don't know, they don't look like a real plant. It's like one of those fake plants. But look, they're gonna be beautiful though. Y'all, I can't believe I'm doing this many because I have been doing a great job at pacing myself when it comes to this seed starting stuff. I've been sowing quite a bit, just a little bit at a time. Like every few days, I'm sowing something or up potting or something. So this is the most that I am doing at one time, and this is actually the most that I have ever sowed indoors. I feel like I usually only do like peppers and tomatoes, and I do zucchini and zucchini and watermelon indoors and green beans. But I did. There were a lot last year, but nothing like this is about to be. And I'm up here looking at all these, y'all. It's cute. When you're doing everything in the seed trays, it's like, oh, they underneath the lights. They're cute. Oh, look at my little shell. Look at, look what I'm doing. Until they start getting bigger and you got an up pot. Then that's the part I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to have a hard time with this one. I'm trying not to tear the packaging up too much. But yeah, I'm like, these are gonna be more than 60 seeds. If I fill all these up and they're gonna have multiple seeds on them, whoo, yeah. I'm gonna, I'm gonna be like, girl, what was you thinking? You did not think this through. I am gonna get another shelf. I'm gonna replace the small little shelf that I have in there. I have a big shelf and then a small shelf. And but what's gonna save me, y'all? This is what's gonna save me. I got a new greenhouse. So I have a new greenhouse. I just have not put it up yet, and it it's bigger. So I will be able to put things in that one or um, my older one. My older one, I still have yet to buy a new cover because the zipper is broke on that one. Oh, this. Why is this 3/4 inch? But the other Swiss Chards are. Oh, this one is a 1/2 inch. This is a 1/4 of an inch. This one is a 1/2 of an inch. So I need to push these down a little further. Okay. Pay attention to the y'all seed package, y'all. Unless you're an expert like that, you make sure you read the seed packages because they put a lot of that stuff on there for a reason. And I didn't know, like I did some nasturtiums and the other day, yes, y'all, I'm growing flowers. I cannot believe it. I said I wasn't going to do any flowers this year because I failed last year. The nasturtiums, I when I was reading the packaging, it said it wanted that you should sow them, I think, an inch deep because they do not like the light. And I thought that was interesting because I thought it was more so, I don't know. I don't know why I thought that some seeds needed to be deeper. Maybe because of the roots. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that some seeds need to be deeper. Okay. And so we got that. Now we're going to get into, these have come all out of order, y'all. We're going to get into our kale. Yeah, I love me some kale. And kale was also one of those vegetables that I mixed in with my grains. I did a bunch of mixed grains together, and it was just delicious. And so do this freak sea kale that I got. It grew pretty well last year. It has short little round leaves. I've never seen kale like that before. And I don't even know how far to sow this. I think I'm gonna sow it. Sow it like maybe a fork or half an inch. If I can get this open, y'all. So I'll be doing 3 different types of kale. Okay, there we go. Is it 3? No, I lied. I'll be doing 4 different types of kale. Now, last year I didn't do this, but I have before. Kale chips. If you've never had kale chips, and you're missing out. Kale chips are very delicious. I just do some olive oil and some salt. Put them in the well, you do a little bit of olive oil, but you rinse the kale off and you dry it. Make sure it's dried, and you sprinkle a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of dashes of salt. And one time, like sometimes I would do like Mrs. Dash, the different flavoring, and bomb.com, or I do a little crushed red pepper. Bomb. Okay. Put these down a little bit. Oh, over here, I have my, well, not just over there in the bucket, but this soil mix, I actually made it. So, I made my own seed starting mix. Now, I usually make my own potting mix, but this is the first time I've ever done seed starting mix. And I've been seeing quite a few people talk about doing their own seed starting mixes this year. And I was contemplating on whether or not to do it. I've been using the Jiffy brand, and I only got the Jiffy brand because I go to Lowe's. That's the closest store to me that sells like gardening stuff. And a lot of other places didn't have their gardening stuff out yet. And so I had to get that dry old Jiffy mix, but I used, what is it called? Worm castings with it, and it helped it to retain moisture. So I ran out of the Jiffy mix, y'all, and I was like, oh, I got all these brassicas and stuff, all this other stuff that I have to sow, and I need to get this in right away. And it was on the weekend, and I was like, it's cold. I'm not going to the store right now. There's a lot going on in my life, family and stuff. And I was like, I need something right away. And lo and behold, I get on YouTube, and my girl, Yancey's Network. Shout out to Yancey's Network. She is the pepper queen, and she's one of the very first people that I used to watch quite a bit when I started watching gardening stuff. And she was like, make your own. Never buy seed starting mix again. Make your own. And I said, I got the vermiculite. I got the worm castings. All I need is that cocoa cord. I said, you know what? I might as well go ahead and do the seed starting mix. Make my own seed starting mix. And I was able to order from Amazon, and it came the next day. So I didn't have to go to the store, but I ended up not even being able to sow the day that I got the cocoa cord, because there was just a lot going on. But I'm doing it today, and I'm getting it done before the end of the month. So isn't that great? The dinosaur kale, I like the dinosaur kale. It's not my favorite type of kale, so I'm only going to do a few of those, but I added I used to add the dinosaur kale to my mixed greens. And me, might as well just use my hands. It's supposed to be half an inch down. Yeah, we got all these new gadgets for seed starting and all this, and we be out here using markers and pens and just whatever we can find. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one because I be seeing y'all using the end of that pen to poke into that soil. Hey, use what's handy, huh? But yeah, the dinosaur quill, it's not my favorite, but I like it. If I had to choose, I'd say the blue curl kale. I like that the best. It was the red Russian, but um I think I forgot which one I liked. Wait a minute, I sure just messed that up. This is supposed to be Dino Kill. Yeah, it's supposed to be Dino Kill. I'm pretty sure, yep. Because the Dino Kill was right here. Because I had blue Scotch Curl Kill. This is Dino Kill. And then this red Russian. Oh, y'all, I got a story about this red Russian Kill. So I went back to the what is it, thrift store. So I got my seeds from the thrift store, honey. Some of them. They had a big box of seeds that the box stores just gave them. And of course the seeds expired December 2024. But anyway, I was like, oh, so let me show y'all. I was like, oh, it's two different types of red Russian kale. They both say red Russian kale, excuse my dirty nails because I just touched the dirt. But they look different. One is organic and one is not, but I just wanted both of them. Both of them. So yeah, I grabbed them. They ended up being a quarter each. So everything got down to a quarter each. And I'm feeling today is the first time I'm really going through these seeds. And I'm going like this. I'm like, this seed is flat. I mean, this packaging is flat. Y'all, it's literally like one or two seeds in here. I kid you not. There was an opening down here. So this came apart and all the seeds and dumped out somewhere. I don't know if they dumped out in my bag. I don't think so. And that happened last year. I bought some, I forgot what seeds I bought from the thrift store, but the package was completely empty. And I said, now I know people ain't in the thrift store. The thrift store steal the seeds. They open it. Look, y'all, opening the bottom part of the package, more like this, and put them in, and put them in their pockets. Oh, that would be horrible. Would that not be horrible if people were stealing seeds out the pack and leaving the pack there like they do at the stores? They steal the food or steal something and leave the pack at the store? Yeah, that's crazy. But I think it just came apart. We're gonna say that. We're gonna say it just came apart. That's what we're gonna say. Okay, red Russian kale. You going right here. Oh, I see some seeds popping up for the dino kale. Where did my pen go? Oh. Okay. And then I'm over here trying to figure out, like, trying to gauge where I'm going to put all of this stuff, because I have a total of 5 grain stocks, but 3 of those grain stocks are already allocated. So I do have 2 2 regular size grain stocks to work with. And this year I want all of my leafy greens in the green stocks. I had some in pots. I had some in the green stocks and some in the pots last year. But this year, no, I want them all in the green stocks. Because I think that I want to use my pots this year for the flowers. I may do a video on the flowers that I sowed, but I will tell y'all this, y'all. I sowed some zinnias. I did not mean to sow them this early, because the zinnias I wasn't supposed to start until March, because they grow fast, allegedly. But the ones that I had, I think it was the zinnias that grew fast. So, and all my seeds, I have my seeds back up into like the month that I'm going to sow them. But I have all my flowers just straight together. And it kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh, I'm going to sow some flowers today. And I just sowed all of them. And all of them did not need to be sown right now. And I was like, what were you thinking? But hey, it's all fun. It's all a learning process. And hey, we'll get it together. We'll get it together. So this is the blue curled kale. Blue curled Scotch kale. And like I said, the seeds that I know that are old, I'm kind of heavily sowing them. 1/4 inch. Because they are old. Now, I hope they all don't germinate. because I would be like, what am I doing all these? I'm only sowing extra just in case. But if I got 151 seedlings, but y'all, I be having that. What do you call it? Like, I don't be wanting to throw away the seedlings or get rid of the extra seedlings. I'm like, oh, this is another plant. Somebody could use this, or I could put this somewhere. I just can't do that. That's how I was last year. This year, I'm not. No. Mm-mm. I'm just gonna rip them bad boys out. It might hurt my heart a little bit because I, babied them. No, I didn't baby them, because as soon as they pop up, if it's too many, it is what it is. Because last year, y'all, I grew so many tomatoes. I was like, I'm going to sell some. I want to give some away to my family, to my friends, to my coworkers. I was like, I'm going to give all this stuff away. And people wanted them. Some people wanted them, and then some people was like, "No, thank you." I thought I'd be able to get rid of all of them at my job. No, ma'am. they were like, no, you know, some people wanted them, but I can tell other people were kind of like getting tired of me sending out emails. Does anybody want these? Does anybody want any of these? I have extra. Then I'm trying to give them to my neighbors. They never planted the stuff. They just went to waste. So these are mustard greens. These are the last bit of my mustard greens. So those are done. Y'all, last year I was giving some to a coworker. She was taking quite a bit of extra seedlings that I have. And there she really wanted some zucchini. Yeah, I know that I gave her some zucchini. How about she kept saying, "Oh, the zucchini plant is small. Is it supposed to look like this or whatever?" And she was telling me how it looked. I'm like, "No, your zucchini plant should be big by now." She said, "Well, it's not. It's like it looks like this." I'm like, "That don't sound like a zucchini." And she said, "Well, it says zucchini on the thing that you gave me." I'm like, I know what a zucchini looked like. And zucchini ain't hard to miss. Well, to mislabel. That's zucchini is that because my plants were like this tall, and when she ended up showing me the picture of it, it was an eggplant. And I did give her a bag of eggplants. I think maybe she didn't. I think maybe she planted it and thought it was something else. Because I'm like, I know I didn't. I know I did not get no eggplant and no zucchini mixed up. And you want to know why? Because I did the zucchini first, and then I think later on I gave her a bag of eggplant seeds. So I was like, nah. And she was so upset that she did not get her zucchini because there was a mistake. I could have very well made the mistake. I'll take some of the blame, but I really don't think that I made that mistake because I was giving her quite a bit of things, and I think maybe she mixed up some stuff. Um, and then another thing was she was like, the coworker was like, no, that stuff is not growing. I'm not getting a harvest of anything. She didn't get a harvest of nothing that I gave her. And she said, well, I said, well, did you fertilize anything? And she said, no. She said, I grew up on a farm. We didn't have to fertilize. My dad didn't fertilize anything. That's hard for me to believe. That is so hard for me to believe. And maybe she didn't realize the things that he was doing. It was fertilizing. I'm sure there was cow manure, there was fried chicken manure that they were putting into the dirt when they were tilling it, or well, after they tilled it, or whatever. That was their type of fertilizer, or yeah. I don't know if we could use that as a fertilizer, but they did something to the soil that was their fertilizer. It's hard for me to believe that just because you're on the farm, you don't do any type of fertilizing. And like I said, she probably just didn't know. But yeah, I gave her watermelon, I gave her all this stuff. She didn't get a harvest of nothing. And she was so upset. So y'all, I want quite a bit of collard greens. um, I might make another. I'm going to make another. Put some more collard greens over here. I have, I don't know what my labels, what did I just put my labels? Oh, here's some more. All right, my collard greens here. Yeah, I love the collard greens. Me and my daughter, we love the collard greens. Collards. $2.25. Okay. All right, guys. Everyone. No more guys. We're saying everyone. I have left my cauliflower and broccoli. And so there's the early snowball cauliflower, the Desico broccoli, and you probably can't see it, and the burgundy sprouting broccoli. I chose not to do the purple sprouting broccoli because after my research, it takes a very, very long time, and the time I'm supposed to sow it is probably like, I think, the end of July, and I won't get a harvest until the spring. Absolutely not. And I accidentally bought the purple sprouting. I was meaning to get the burgundy, but there was just a mix up. That's a whole nother story. Green sprouting caprese and the Watham broccoli. So I'm going to finish sowing these and I will be back. I am back and I'm done sowing the seeds that were going to go in the seed cell tray. And I only filled up half of this. I believe I could have filled up the whole thing because I put quite a bit of seeds in some of these seed cells and I could have spread out the rows a little more. But I don't know. I may eventually, I don't know what's going to be coming up soon that I could start on this side. Can't think of anything. But the last thing we have to do is our spinach. I'm going to do the spinach in its own little container because this tray is going to go on a heat mat and they say that spinach likes the cold. I didn't have a... I think I winter sowed spinach last year. I don't think it did well because it needed a longer time. That's what it was. So it germinated. My spinach germinated from being winter sown. However, it should have been indoors because it takes too long. Spinach is one of those leafy greens that it takes a little while to mature. It seems like. Okay. Just putting some potting mix in here. Now this is the last bit and I'm done for the night. Everybody is asleep. The grind don't stop, y'all. I'm ready to be in the bed. But okay, so spinach. I need to sow that. It's a half an inch. So I'm doing my little holes with my little marker. Just talking about y'all earlier. I was talking about y'all earlier for using the markers and them pins to make the holes in the dirt. Okay. And then I'm gonna sprinkle, we're gonna season it. Season it with some dirt. I should have used the glove that. Duh. Okay. So I am done here. Put my little lid on here and we're gonna spray it all up. My soil is already pre-moistened. We are done. That was a long one.